Hey, shalom, 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 akim wa akwaf, shalom, yasha'Allah. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Wahara Kakwadash, double honor to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone. They've been at top of this truth through the Spirit. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, teaching this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and blessings to the rest of the elect of the house of Israel that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Today, we're going to go into laws and statutes found in the book of Genesis, right? Because we learn in the scriptures that the Lord, statutes, commandments has always been around. In the book of Genesis, it was orally passed down, but during the time of Exodus, with Moses going on the Mount Sinai, the laws was physically written on stone, tablets of stone, right? And then since then, trans it was written on scrolls, and then later on paper as we know it today. But back during the time of Adam, all the way down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the laws were orally passed down. Okay. Real quick, I want to look up this word: oral traditions. Mhm. It says oral traditions define the means by which culture transmissions occur over generations, other than through writing records. Consists of songs or stories, often complemented by dance, drama, or other visual representations such as painting. Blah, 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 blah. Oral traditions express spiritual and emotional truths through symbols and metaphors. Oral traditions also express literal truth, such as events, situations from the past. Okay, um, let's look it up again. It says a community, culture, and historical traditions passed down by word of mouth, or example from one generation to another without written instructions. Okay, so that's how the Lord's statutes and commandments was passed down during the time of Genesis. Now, the one of the I'm a Lord's will. This will be a series, and I'm a pinpoint certain events that happened in the Book of Genesis, right, and show you um where it was written in the law of Yahweh, also known as the Mosaic Law. Okay, so this is
Levirate.
levirate. It says a custom of ancient Hebrews and others people. It says a custom of ancient Hebrews and other peoples by which a man may be obligated, uh, obli- I hate mispronouncing words, obliged, forgive me, may be obliged to marry his brother's widow, right? Now let's get the story. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 38, verse 1. We're going to run through this. And it came to pass at the time that Judah went down from his brethren, hey, Shalom, GMS Harakah, and turned into a certain Adulamite whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in onto her, and she could see, showing you, you got people that are talking about, and he knew her or he went in onto her, doesn't mean they didn't have sex. Why would it say this and then after she conceived? Because obviously it's talking about intercourse. So it says, and she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Shitzba, Shitzib, when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahweh. And Yahweh slew him, right? And Judah, or Yahweh, said unto Onan, go unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. So showing you that our customs is different from Western culture's customs. Because if you bring this up to people today, you're like, what? Sleep with my brother's um sleep with my brother's wife? Give her a kid for my brother? Why the hell would I do that? Right? But going back to our forefathers and the ways of our people, this was normal. If your brother didn't have a seed, right? He didn't have a kid, you were supposed to give his wife a kid for your brother so his lineage could continue, right? And it wouldn't be your kid, right? Of course, technically it came out of you, but according to the ways of the Most High, that seed will be raised as if it was your brother's. So it says, and the thing which he did displeased Yahweh, wherefore he slew him also. Then said Judah to Tamar his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest pre-adventure he die also, and his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. All right, now let's get the law. Because why was that evil, right? Why was that wicked? Because he didn't want to give kid to his brother's wife. He didn't want to leave a lineage for his brother. Why was that wicked? Now let's see. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 5. It says, if brethren dwell together, and one of them died, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in on to her, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of a husband, brothers unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel, right? Because a brother has an inheritance, he has a lineage, he has a heritage, right? So you supposed to leave that behind for your brother by giving his wife a child, right? Real quick. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I want to see what some of the commentary say. The law leverage marriage. The law on this subject is not unique to the Jews, but is defined and essentially spread among guys. Wow. So we wasn't the only people that was keeping this custom. Angel won't believe. All right. I'm gonna read it again. So it says, and it shall be that the firstborn which he beareth shall succeed him in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother wife go up to the gate or to the elders and say, my husband's brother refused to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. So you are obligated. This let's look up this word duty. You are obligated to do this. You ain't got a choice in the matter. You had to do this. The Hebrew word is yabam. Yabam. This is the yah. This is a ba. This is a ma. Yabam. It says to perform a levirate marriage, performing the duty of a brother-in-law. The duty to do brother who died childless to marry his widow and have a son. Let's look up this word duty. It says or a moral or legal obligation, a responsibility, right? Responsibility, obligation, commitment, obedience, allegiance, loyalty, faithfulness, right? Respect, deference, reverence, homage, fidelity, right? So this is what you was obligated to do. You were supposed to have sex. See, and this ain't no, this ain't some coveted, lustful, I can't wait to, this ain't adultery. This wasn't considered to be adultery. This wasn't considered to be coveted. This was your duty of a husband's brother, right? This is your responsibility to raise seed for your brother, right? So, verse 8, then the elders of the city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he's stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders and loose his shoe from off his foot and spit in his face and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. Right? So basically, you was disgraced. A woman spit in your face and your shoe was loose. It was unlatched. Right? And basically, this is an act of dishonoring somebody, disgracing somebody, putting somebody to a shame. Let's look up this word, disgrace. I mean, disgrace, loss of reputation or respect as the result of a dishonorable action. What was the dishonorable action? Not leave a seed for your brother, not building up your brother's house, right? Dishonor, shame, ignominy, discredited, degradation, disreputed, ill reputed, infamy, scandal, stigma, right? Condemnation, disrespect, disapproval, right? Having a woman spit in your face and having your shoe loose or unlatched, you was known throughout Israel as a piece of shit. And all Israel will know that you're a piece of shit. So whoever associates with you, or you even try to marry a new woman, they will know that you the piece of shit that went and raised seed up for your brother. So it says, and shall say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. So nobody would build up your house because of the offense that you committed. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that have his shoe loosed. Right? You will be known as the low life of Israel because you were selfish. And this is why, going back to Genesis chapter 38, the sons of Judah, the ones that didn't want to raise seeds up for their brother, end up getting put to death, right? But pretty much that's it, man. I pray and hope that you was edified. I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Wahara Kodash. Excuse me, Wahara Kodash. Until next time, I say Shalom.